All right, welcome back, good people. I think I skipped a little too far. I apologize. And again, yes, we'll be very brief for this session, but I do want to make sure that we get through a large part of this as we lay out theories. And can you all see my screen okay?
Yes, sir.
Fantastic. Again, I will make this available to you in the early evening. So females' participation in team sports is where we left off at. Why might this seem logical? And this is a social fact, not an opinion. Do your own research. But why might it seem logical that female participation in team sports is correlated with lower teen pregnancy rates? Why might that make sense?
Because they don't have as much free time on their hand as, females that's not doing sports.
Good. What else? A lot of things could be done with that free time, and a lot of times, what young people will be interested in doing with their free time. What might be another logical benefit of it? Or a lot. I'm sorry. Let me rephrase the question. I apologize. Why? What's another reason why this might make logical sense? So again, was that Kisana?
Yes, sir.
So again, just staying busy and practice all the time and all the games and traveling. Mm-hmm. And again, it becomes more difficult for that. But what might be another reason? Don't worry about if it's right or wrong. Just let me see, your thought process. Anybody? Come on, youngins.
Can you repeat the question again, Dr. Muhammad?
I sure can. So it's a social fact that female participation in team sports is correlated with lower teen pregnancy rates. Why does this make logical sense to you? Kisana gave us one reason that, female athletes are going to be busier. They ain't going to have as, much time to, get their freak on like, 16, 17-year-old Deshaun may have, assuming that you weren't an athlete.
But a lot of athletes, their parents put them on birth control.
Why do you think that is?
I guess because they know they're going to be buck wild when it's time to really get loose.
Yeah.
That might be one reason. But what's
another?
Play
sports with a baby.
Say it again, Deshaun.
They can't play sports with a baby.
Boom, there we go. The game itself. So one, the parents are very committed to the craft. But Kisana, for you to be playing college ball, I'm assuming that you played in high school, correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
I'm assuming that you probably fell in love with the game really early, correct?
Yes, sir, I did.
So after a while, like anything that was gonna come between you playing was almost gonna be unthinkable.
Yeah.
So you may have had as many opportunities as the next girl to get pregnant, but it's like, nah, dog, even if we finna do the do, it's like, ain't finna be no babies popping out. Your body is your vessel. So like athletes, female and male athletes are very protective of that. So my male homies, Kisana, who one of my good friends, he was like, one of the stars of our basketball team in high school. We would be getting fucked up on the weekends, Deshaun. Mikhail, he would not have a sip of anything. No drink, no smoke, nothing. And it would be craziness going on around him. I mean, like, worst stuff that I've seen, like, as an adult, like, real talk. Like, I mean, it was, and don't judge free zone, Maya. Judge free zone. But, yeah.
He's turn nasty.
But, yeah, we were tied on. But because of his athletic links, it guided his behavior in many important ways. Kisana also mentioned another one. Like, so I'm assuming that she has observed, and that was you that said that a lot of female athletes, parents put them on birth control. Was that you, Kisana?
Yes, that was me.
So that's something that I would not know because I'm not a female athlete. But you have observed that, obviously. So that's something that would be brought into the discussion, and you would be able to bring a level of expertise that people not familiar with it would not.
Mm-hmm.
So the social science can help us know what is and why. So if we know that this is true, we then want to begin to do what you and Deshaun just did to try and unpack why is this. Again, Diamond Thomas. We don't believe anything happens for an accident. If people are committing suicide at a higher rate, we want to look at why is this happening. We don't believe it's just happening out of nowhere. If people are abusing heroin at a higher rate than they were 10, 20 years ago, we don't believe that's an accident. If crime has gone down in Columbia, South Carolina, we don't believe that's just an accident. We want to know why that happened. If we can know why it happened, we can prevent problems in the future. So the same way, right, again, science, I'm talking about social science here, but science helped to save a lot of people's lives last night in Louisiana. I'm not sure if you all saw that. So science allowed them to be able to say, Maya Williams, hey, the hurricane is going to hit at around this time. This is how strong the hurricane is going to be. These locations right here is going to be in the center of the hurricane. And what did that allow people to do?
Relocate.
Absolutely. That would have been very different in like the year 1600, where you just sitting there all la-di-da, boo-doo-doo, and then all of a sudden, woof, because that's how it be sometimes. Oftentimes, it'll start to rain and stuff, and oftentimes the animals will tell you when it's getting ready to be a major storm before the people. So that's one of the ways that they would use it back in the day, that if you see like, cows and horses, like, running like crazy, you might want to follow them. But today we ain't got to do all that. We can use science and technology to explain cause and effect, Deshaun. And by being able to explain cause and effect, it helps us eliminate all types of problems. So what this you also need to understand are social regularities. That, as I talked about before, Maya, there's almost no statement that's true universally. All people do this. So it will be a false statement to say that all white people get away with murder, like that cowardly white boy did, at least initially, who shot those cats in the innocent protesters, the peaceful protesters in Kenosha the other night. So it would be a false statement to say that all white people get away with murder. It would be a false statement to say that the only people that the police shoot are black people. We want to be very accurate with our statements. So here's a way that we can improve that statement, Maya Williams. White people are way more likely than black people to get away with murder. Black people are much more likely to be shot by, unarmed black people are much more likely to be shot by the police than unarmed white people. So these are social regularities. Oftentimes people try and use the exception, Diamond, to try and explain the point. So it's a regularity, Maya, that men earn more than women. Are there some individual women who make more money than men? I'm talking to y'all. Are there individual women who make more than men?
Yeah.
Does that mean that it's a false statement that men earn more than women?
No.
Correct. Muslims, in general, don't eat pork. Have you ever seen a Muslim who has eaten pork? Because I have. There may be some Asian man somewhere with the name Martinez or Munoz. But in general, if you see like, this name on a job application or a college application, it can be a reasonable assumption that this person is Hispanic because that's generally what's true. So in the social sciences, India Cheney, what we try and look at is what happens in general. What happens in general? I gave this example before that there are some days, I'm sure in your lifetime, as most of you being Southerners, where maybe you may have gotten like, 3 or 4 feet of snow, probably like literally once or twice in your life. Has any of you all seen that level of snowfall before? Anybody in the South?
Maybe, yeah, like 1 or 2 inches. Yeah, not much.
All right, it's usually just a small dusting.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure sometime within the last 200 years, there probably was a major like snowstorm where people was like, what the hell? But that doesn't allow us to say that it would be a false statement to say that it generally snows in the South. So don't use exceptions to the rule to define your scientific conclusions. Very quickly, there's, again, with you being social science seniors, there should be some theories on here that you're familiar with already. And let's double back. What does a theory do again? What does a theory do? What does a theory do? You may have to unmute yourself. What does a theory do? Wake up.
Explain cause and effect. Something like that. I think.
Good. Very good. It's a systematic explanation of cause and effect. So these are some examples of social theories from the field of criminal justice, social science, and even economics and psychology. So very quickly, right? The Oedipus complex was created by Sigmund Freud. Is anybody familiar with this theory? So the Oedipus complex is used to theorize about male behavior, particularly as it relates to the opposite sex. If you've had me before, you probably have heard this theory. Try and explain it for your classmates. The Oedipus complex. Don't worry if you don't have it down perfectly. But what is the Oedipus complex? This is a social theory. Somebody do me a favor. Matter of fact, no. Give me 1 second. Diamond Thomas, here's your task. For Tuesday's class, I need you to do some research between now and Tuesday. And I want you to explain in your own words what the Oedipus complex is, okay? So between now and Tuesday, it shouldn't take you very long. You can use any resource you want. I'm counting on you for that. Are you going to leave me hanging, Diamond Thomas?
No, I got you.
All right, y'all heard it right. This is recorded. So if Diamond does not follow through, I think this pretty much scientifically proves that she's shady, unreliable, and can't be trusted. Don't let us down, Diamond Thomas. The class is dependent upon you. We'll leave it there for today. These next few sections, let me see how much more I got to go. I might record this next part of the lecture and just post it for you all. And then we'll start into chapter 2. But again, no matter where we're at in the lecture, please make sure, and I will share one more thing with you. Please make sure that you're in the right place in the syllabus. Let's see where we should be at, India Cheney. Give me 1 second. And as I'm pulling this up, does anybody have any questions or comments? If any other questions or comments come later on, let me know. Okay, I just opened this document. What's going on? One second. I apologize, young people. And I'm sorry, I got literally probably about 20 windows open. So give me one moment to locate this file. Yeah. I don't know why it's not letting me share this. This is pretty annoying. Okay, there we go. Can you see my screen? Unmute. Can you see my screen?
Yeah. It's showing your files.
How about now?
Yeah, there you go.
Outstanding. So you see here, right? This is the week of August 24th, 26th. That should really be 25th, 27th. I'm still in chapter 1, right? On Tuesday, I'm scheduled to begin chapter 2. And next Thursday, you're going to get your first writing assignment for this class. So it's pivotally important that you are fully up to speed, that when we meet next Thursday, Deshaun, you should be at least halfway through chapter 2, okay? And even if you're a little bit behind, Diamond, you can still get caught up. It's just 45 pages. Read 10 pages a day. Read 10 pages tomorrow. Read 5 pages on Saturday. Read 5 pages when you get back from church on Sunday. Read another 5 on Monday. Read 5 on Tuesday. And you're right where you need to be. So you don't have to overload yourself. What you cannot do, India Cheney, is fall far behind and think you're going to get caught up. Do y'all hear me?
Read.
Yes. Don't, and if you, and look, if you fall behind, this class is going to be offered again next semester. Do not sit in here and fail unnecessarily and have us going through all types of headaches with each other. Very soon, I'm going to come and beg and plead with some of y'all to drop the class. And that's out of love, Maya Williams. I don't want to see you do poorly. You my dog. But I'm going to be honest with where you're at any point in the class. So everybody's in great shape right now. To me, it sounds like you have a good understanding of these concepts. From here, it's just a matter of doing the work. So please read. It'll help make things that we talked about here today, Deshaun, more clear. They're going to give you some really good examples. And the Mind Tap features on Cengage can allow you to engage and interact even further. First writing assignment is going to be solicited on September 3rd. It'll be due, and make sure that you always follow along with your syllabus. It ain't due until September 29th, Maya Williams. Well, I take that back. That's something else. My bad. I lied to you, homie. This is due. Oh, damn, I lied to y'all. The research question is already supposed to be submitted.
I thought to say September 3rd.
That's true. It's due next Thursday. So let me go through the research question assignment then. Thank you, Maya Williams. I apologize, y'all. So we began to explore how a research question should be formulated. I will not go over all the directions for you. I'll let you read that along on your own, Maya. But here's your task for this assignment. Can you see this okay?
Yes.
You had to formulate, Kisana, a social scientific research question and include a hypothesis that can be scientifically tested. Deshaun, listen up, yo. I'm not asking for any answers. All I want is a question. What I highly encourage you all to do is to start formulating your questions, Some of y'all got some really good questions already. Deshaun, Maya, Diamond, you begin to formulate questions. And again, it doesn't have to be the question you submitted in class, because it's really important to me that you ask a question that's important to you, something that you really care about related to human behavior. And frankly, there should be a lot going on right now that interests you about human behavior. Do y'all, like, as a real quick diversion, do y'all understand and appreciate how crazy the times that y'all are living and growing up in? Do y'all understand that, like, in real time, like, now? I have no doubt you're going to understand it when you're, like, 40 and 50. Do y'all understand how crazy all this stuff is right now? Like, real talk. If you don't, it's okay.
Yeah, I understand.
Like, this year that you all are living through is going to be talked about for 300 years. Like, it's that unique in terms of human existence. So with that being said, India Cheney, I hope there are a lot of things right now that are making you intellectually curious. Because we talked about research questions, Maya. A common research question that I have when I wake up each day in these days and times is, what the fuck is going on? You cannot put that in a research question. You might need to tighten up the wording a little bit. But whether it be a general question like that or something more specific, I hope that you can use current events and maybe guide you to a really strong, effective research question. This assignment is posted on if it's not posted on e-learning, it will be again in the early evening. I would just have to unlock it for you all, but it should be visible already. And I highly recommend that you seek me out for some feedback before you submit this final assignment. Are there any questions or comments before we leave for today?
Dr. Muhammad, I took a social research class this summer. Social statistics class this summer.
Yes, sir.
So my question and my stuff was about police brutality. Do you think, like, that'll help, like, you with
Great.
the statistics stuff like that?
Yeah, absolutely. Great. In fact, Deshaun, if you want, and this is for all of y'all, there's no reason that you can't use a research question that you have addressed in some other class in some other paper. Going forward, Deshaun, we're going to be starting the freshmen and sophomores on this process a lot earlier. So by the time that they get to this class, a lot of the research is actually going to be done already. So if you did something in social statistics, because again, like as professors, we talk, Professor Jakubik is constructing assignments knowing that y'all got to take this class eventually. So yes, absolutely. If you want to use whatever you research in social statistics, you might need to tweak your research question or something a little bit. But yeah, that's totally fair game if you want to use that. Absolutely. You can use every bit of it. No need to reinvent the wheel.
So how did that change with me having to do more research other than me getting the statistics from 30 people about the topic?
Right. Now that, when we get, so there are going to be other elements to this that we'll unpack and we might have to tweak this and that. But I don't want you to think about that yet. The only thing I want you to think about right now is the research question and hypothesis. I like your thinking in terms of, like, really thinking forward, but don't worry, we'll address that for sure. Don't worry about that as much. I'm sure that there'll still be much that you can use. It just might be like things that we'll add on. Because the goal here, Deshaun, is to get as conclusive of an answer to your question as possible at the end of the class. And the statistics that you have already can be helpful, but my sense is that you probably can utilize some other source of information as well. But great question. But for now, the only thing I want you to stress is the research question and hypothesis. Kisana, I strongly, strongly discourage you from submitting this assignment without getting some feedback from me before you do. It can be a quick email. If you want to schedule a Zoom meeting, we can do that. I know today and early tomorrow may be a little bit busy because there's a lot of freshmen I still got to get in order and people that are registering late. But throughout the weekend, again, anything you need, I should be pretty accessible. But I will be accessible.
Okay.
Other questions or comments? My final question for you, is there anybody here who is unclear on what they need to do for this assignment? Is there anyone who's unclear on what they need to do for this assignment? Because Deshaun, one of the responses that I get from your generation, which may or may not be soft, I haven't done the research. I got some observations I can share if you're interested, but that'll be for a later date. But one of the things that I hear often when students don't put in the work to do this is a real easy assignment, man. But when students don't put in the work, what I hear next Thursday is, I didn't know what I was supposed to do. So let me ask again. Is there anybody here who's unclear on what they're supposed to do for this assignment? If you look through it over the weekend, Maya, and you become a little bit less clear, what should she do in that situation? I can't hear you, Maya. Hello? Maya done went out on me.
Email you.
Yes. So email me and I got you. All right, we'll leave it there. Again, this lecture will be posted. I will send you the links for both the first and the second half. Yes, Maya, very good. If there are no further questions, I'll bid you adieu. Great discussion today.
Have a good day, Dr. Muhammad.
You do the same. Don't work too hard, bro.
I'll get out till 11.
Oh, gee, whoo. Get that money.
Yes, sir.
Peace, y'all.